Our first item of business is request to address the board. I appoint Mr. Donald Richards on the budget.
Good evening. Through an open records request, I obtained a copy of the spreadsheet which shows the debt service forecast that your treasurer mentioned at your last meeting were used as an input to the budget. I would like to point out a problem that can be detected from the footnote on the first page. The single asterisk footnote, which applies to the columns that are the floating rate bond issues, reads as follows. Debt service is calculated as 4%. Then in parentheses, bond rate of 2.85% and 1.15 BPS of admin. BPS is an abbreviation for basis points. A basis point is 1/100th of a percentage point. So 1.15 basis points is equivalent to 0.0115%. Then when you add properly 2.85% and 0.0115%, you get, of course, 2.8615% rather than 4%. This explains why you have systematically over-budgeted for floating rate interest over the last few years. We were told at the last meeting that you have been using this 4% number from PFM for some years now. Now someone may say, maybe this is really just a typo, and where it says basis points, it should read percent instead, and everything would be okay. Well, then you would have an even bigger problem. Admin costs are the fees to the paying agent to send out principal and interest payments over the Fed wire to the bondholder. If you were paying 1.15% of your outstanding principal for this, then you would be paying a fee of perhaps $350,000 per year to your paying agent, and that's ridiculous. You know from your bond refundings that your paying agent charges you a fee of only, and I say only, $10,000 to call a bond issue. And that is a more complicated task than simply making regular principal and interest payments. So this is definitely not a typo. It's an erroneous number calculated from a misunderstanding of what a basis point is. This is one more symptom of undue over-reliance on PFM by the East Penn staff and board. The remaining question is whether the first number in the footnote, where it says bond rate of 2.85% is a good forecast. To forecast floating rate interest payments, you need to know the floating rate index, which each bond issue uses. For example, 3-month LIBOR or 6-month LIBOR. And you need to know the spread for each issue, which is specified in the bond indenture. Unfortunately, the reports from PFM do not provide that. Public gets never show this information, nor even show the fixed rate coupons. They also don't present CUSIP numbers of the different issues, which makes it a rather tedious task to track down this information. I hope your staff has direct first-hand access to this information and can review it with a critical eye. The material which I obtained had a second spreadsheet which was based on a total rate of 3.75%. This page has no footnote explaining the basis of this number because it was really just a trial and error attempt by your staff to come up with a better budget number. The correct number is likely 2.86%, assuming PFM gave you a good bond rate forecast. So 3.75% is still 89 basis points too high. You should not approve the budget until this is fixed. You have been over budgeting for floating rate interest year after year, and you have been setting the tax rate unnecessarily high year after year. You should put a stop to this tonight. On a related topic, I was concerned to see that you voted 8-1 a month ago to not rotate your external auditor. Ever since the Enron, WorldCom, and Delphi Communications scandals and the Sarbanes-Oxley reforms which follow, it has become a standard principle of corporate governance to rotate auditors. And one board member pointed out that this principle translates to public governance as well. I hope a future board will make a different decision next time. Thank you and good luck with this.